What is going on? Beyond the break here with a PSA submission prep video. We have 22 cards taking advantage of PSA's bulk special currently running in October. I will say with this order, it's much anticipated. We have a lot of cards here that we've been just slowly buying the last couple of months. More on the higher end than we usually send, and something that, we're trying to do more of as we get more and more confident with the grading, kind of our evaluation with grading as a whole. So like I said, more on the higher end, these are some of the cards that we've been just slowly collecting the last couple of months. Starting things off, we have a Calvin Johnson rookie refractor. This, in my mind, has an outside chance of a 10. I don't want to jinx it, but I really can't find any issues. Centering looks absolutely great in the front. There was no corner issues, no surface damage on the front. The back, as you have these red corners, I didn't see any whitening. I think, if you really want to nitpick, I think just this one corner has the slightest whitening. But on the back too, the centering looks absolutely perfect. So I hope it's a 10, obviously. I wouldn't be surprised if it gets a 9 just for the sheer fact of the card and the pop count control that sometimes PSA does. They don't say they do, but you never know, especially with these big name players. But, from my mind, this is a 10. Here we have a Drew Brees. This is number 2199 refractor. I think this is a second-year card. Yep, or I guess it's third-year card. He didn't play his rookie year, but early on Drew Brees card. Just love this top finest. Centering was perfect in this card. No issues whatsoever. I think from the back, I think on the back you can see it's a little bit heavier on the right, but other than that, I don't think it's enough that wouldn't get potentially a 10. Corners look good. We always have issues with corners on these, just for the fact that you got two darker corners and two dark red corners on the bottom. But from what I remember, no issues whatsoever in the corners. If anything, a little bit there. But all in all, we're thinking this is a 9 outside chance of a 10. Here's a Tim Duncan X-Fractor Bowman Chrome. This is number 150. Another one of the bigger cards of this order. To me, centering was perfect. No issues whatsoever. Top to bottom, left to right, everything looked great. Corners look great as well. No issues whatsoever. I think the only thing we're thinking it's probably going to get a 9 is there's a small indent right there, my thumb. You can kind of see that. So I'm thinking it has a good chance of getting a 9. I don't see it getting a 10 unless PSA completely ignores that little small indent. But outside chance of good chance of a 9, outside chance of a 10. Here's a CC Sabathia black, Topps Chrome black out of 100. This we have as a 10, no issues whatsoever. Centering was perfect. You can see on the back, everything looks great here. Starting to grade a handful of his cards. I think we have 2 big cards in his order. And then 2 big cards in this order straight from the fact that he is most likely going to get in the Hall of Fame, I think, next year. So 2 cards. So this one we think is a 10. Centering was perfect, like I mentioned. No issues in the corners. No surface damage whatsoever. Here's one of the cooler cards of the order. This is the Sticky Fingers Gary Payton Topps Chrome. I'm going to go with the 9 on this. And just for the fact that I think it's just an older card. I didn't see any surface scratches, so that's a good sign. Centering looks really good on the front. On the back, it's a little bit heavier on the right and on the bottom, but I don't think enough to not warrant at least a 9. I think if anything, there was a little bit of I don't even know what you want to call it up top there, but I don't know. I'm gonna go with the 9, just again for the type of card it is. But hopefully, well, obviously we wanted that 10, but I'm gonna go with the 9 here. Here's a Tom Brady laser out of Panini Prism. This is from the 2019. This we have as a 9. Again, I don't see anything major in terms of anything below a 9. Centering looks great. Top to bottom, great. No surface scratches whatsoever. I think if anything, again, it's just the darker corners here. I think we had one whitening showing on this corner down here. Other than that, I think, you know, I don't think enough to warrant anything below 9. So we're going to go with a 9 for this. Like I said, we have some pretty big cards here. This is another big card. This is the Tracy McGrady Bowman Chrome out of 150. This we have, so I'm going to go with a 9 again. Obviously, outside chance of a 10. I think this has a better chance of getting a 10 than the Duncan. The only reason I say it's a little bit better of a chance is the centering. You can see it's a little bit thicker on the top and the bottom. So sometimes centering you can kind of get away with that. As for the Duncan, that has that small indent. This, on the other hand, has no issues besides that small top to bottom centering issue. Corners were great, no issues whatsoever there. No surface scratches. So again, the only thing I will say is like left to right looks good, but top to bottom, again, it's a little bit thicker on the top than the bottom. So I'm going to go with the 9, but I think it has an outside chance of a 10. Here's a Chauncey Billups Bowman's Best. This is his rookie refractor. This we have as a 10. No issues whatsoever. Yeah, no issues. I mean, again, you deal with some of these see-through. I'm not really sure what you call that. So there is a chance that it doesn't gem because of that, but no scratches, no surface issues. Corners look great. I didn't see any whitening, so we have this as a 10. Here's an Albert Pujols refractor. The baseball ones are not numbered. I know basketball and football are. Baseball is not. This we have as a 10. No issues. And again, the only thing with these finest refractors is centering, but the front looks really good. Top to bottom looks good. Left to right, if anything, you know, a little bit thicker on the right, but I don't think it's enough to warrant not a 10. Even on the back, it's a little bit better centering on the back than the Brees. Corners, you can see in the dark corners, no whitening at all. So yeah, we have this as a 10. Here's a Bowman's Chrome rookie. This is just his Dwight Howard's base. This we have as a 10. Same year as the Duncan. This is no issues, I don't think. Yeah, we have this as a 10. We wouldn't be sending a base card like this if we weren't sure of it. But yeah, centering looked great. Top to bottom, left to right. Obviously does not have that same issue that the Duncan had with a little bit of indent, but other than that, everything looks good. Here's another Albert Pujols refractor. This is the Topps Chrome from 2008 set. This we have as a 10. Centering looks great. You can see on the back, no issues with the centering. The front, no issues at all with that as well. I would say if anything, maybe top to bottom, but I don't think it's enough to warrant not a 10. So have this as a 10. Don't see any way otherwise it could not. Here's a Greg Maddux refractor. This is from 2005 Topps Chrome. We have this as a 10 as well. Centering was great. Back centering, you can make the case, I guess, a little bit stronger on a little bit thicker on the right than the left, but I don't think it's enough to, again, not to warrant a 10, especially with the front being as centered as it is on the front. Don't think it's enough to warrant not a 10. Like I mentioned, we had another CC in here. This is Sabathia Black Refractor Topps Chrome from 2006 Topps Chrome. This is out of 549. This we have as a 10 as well. I don't know what's going on here. This we have as a 10 as well. Centering was perfect. No issues at all. Top to bottom, left to right looks great. No surface scratches. You can see on the back too, the centering is even a little bit better than the last couple. Have this as a 10 as well. Here's a Manny Ramirez refractor, Titans of the Game. Topps Chrome from 2000 set. This we have as a 10. We saw no issues. Corners look great. Centering looks great. Surface looks great on the front. Yeah, no issues whatsoever. Here's a Roy Halladay Blue Jay on the Blue Jays. This is a Topps Chrome refractor from 2004 set. So we had a lot of I think we covered a lot of the 2000s Topps Chrome in this order. This we have is a 10. You know, centering on the front, perfect. Left to right looks great. Top to bottom looks great. No surface scratches at all. Only thing with these Topps Chromes that you kind of get the theme for is the back. Centering's a little bit off, but I've submit so many cards with PSA where the front looks great and the back's a little bit off, and it's gone a 10. So, you know, again, you see a little bit thicker on the right and a little bit thicker on the top, but on the front, you can kind of see that centering looks much better. So we have this as a 10. Here's an Adrian Peterson purple Topps Chrome refractor. This is from 2014 set. This we have as a 9, outside chance of a 10. And the only reason I say a 9 is there was one small scratch, and I'm gonna be able to get it on camera. There was one small scratch. Other than that, everything else came out clean. Centering, you know, you might be able to make the argument a little bit thicker on the right than the left, but that's nitpicking. And then top to bottom looks great. Back looked great too, no issues with the corners. So we have this as a 9, outside chance of a 10. Bryce Harper blue, this is numbered to 75. This we have as a 10, no issues. You can make the case for the tiniest whitening in this one corner, but I don't think enough to not get a 10. Other than that, yeah, surface looks great. Centering, you know, not too much to worry about. If you want to go off centering, you kind of gonna look at the back here. Center looks great, left to right here, and then you look on the side, left to right looks great as well. So if anything, that tiniest whitening in the corner, but not enough in my mind to not get a 10. Is a Vlad Guerrero X-Fractor. This is numbered to 250. Centering looked great here, but I believe we have this as a 9. From what I remember. No issues with the surface, no scratching, no corner issues, I think, on the front, but on the back. No, actually, we think this might be a 10, actually, now that I'm thinking of it. I thought I recalled this maybe potentially being a 9. All right, well, we'll say 9 or 10. Wouldn't be surprised if it gets a 9, but also wouldn't be surprised if it gets a 10. So we'll leave it at that. Here's a Myles Garrett tie-dyed out of 25. We have this as a 10. Centering looks great. No surface issues, no scratches. Yeah, have this as a 10. I think this is clear cut, clear and easy. Here's a Brandon Ingram Gold Disco. This is numbered 5 out of 10. We have this as a 10 as well. No issues. Centering again, left to right looks good. You can kind of tell by these waves, kind of see the distance between those. Thought that looked great. Surface again, no issues at all. Have this as a 10. 2 more cards. We have a Rudy Gay out of 50. This we have as a 9. And centering was good, not great. I think if you really want to nitpick, it's a little bit thicker on the left than the right. Again, with these corners though, darker corners and borders, I think there was some whitening in 1 or 2 corners. Let's see if I can get that on camera. Yeah, both corners have a little bit of whitening. The tiniest bit, I think, with a little bit of the centering issue, and then the whitening, I think this warrants a 9. Outside chance potentially as a 10. And then lastly, and one last tie-dye. This is a Kyrie Irving Select out of 2017. This is out of 25. This we have as a 10. Centering looks great. You can see on the back here, left to right. Perfect. Top to bottom looks great as well. You can see top to bottom on the front looks good. No surface whatsoever, and we have this as a 10. All right. So we'll be submitting this to PSA. Hopefully get back, and you know that's the average timeline has been 5 to 6 weeks, hit or miss. You know, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to really grow this channel. I think by the time this video gets out, we should be over 500 subscribers. So thank you if you have subscribed. if you want to see anything else, please obviously leave any comments in the section, and we'll definitely get back to you. Till next time, peace.